Larson and the Mon fly high in Cardiff. Fanning hops back on J-Bay. Mexico's big wave. No Brexit at the Moth Euros. And now in the newsroom, here's Mia Charan. NC Sports. Plunge into the action.
Welcome back to NC Sports for another action-packed edition. I'm Mia Charan, and we've got major events now taking center stage around the world. So let's shuffle through the lineup. In today's top stories, Morgan Larson and Oman Air rule Act 3 in Cardiff and pull away at the Extreme Sailing Series. The recap and the insight. They're back. Team Comanche shatters the Bermuda race record, while Mike Fanning goes public upon his return to the J-Bay Pro. Then, Big Wave Tour. South Africa's Grant Baker nails the perfect 10 to win the Puerto Escondido Challenge. After the world's Brits now also rule at the Moth Europeans in Bordeaux. Aquabike, double victory for the Poré family and the Costa Blanca GP. From pro back to rookie, Giancarlo Pedotti links in with the studio to explain his brand new flying adventure. Plus, Round Excel in Holland. And from Germany, top results from Kieler Week and round 2 of the Stand-Up World Series. He won it in 2014 at the helm of Alinghi, and now he's back. And already flying high with Oman Air by winning 2 of the first 3 acts of the Extreme Sailing Series. Morgan Larson simply dominated in Cardiff. Here's the recap, and when we come back, the insight and the analysis.
Cardiff Bay delivered a big time last weekend for Act 3 of the Extreme Sailing Series with 25 to 30 knot winds, sun, and also plenty of Welsh rain. 29 grueling races on the new foiling GC32 platform that may already offer a glimpse of the season to come, adding up to the meaning of Cardiff. For the returning champ Morgan Larson, now blazing on Oman Air, 11 wins here, including the double point final, means solidifying the overall lead. They better not relax though, because this is also Red Bull's year, with refound veterans Hagara and Steinacher with a superb second, just 6 points short in Cardiff, and a mere 3 from the overall lead now. Nailing a third place in the final to jump on the podium for Graham Hansen and Costner, Cardiff meant putting SAP Extreme ahead of Alinghi. Yes, we can for the Danes. While for Bertarelli and Sarofagis, Act 3 is a tough reminder that this new game won't be so easy. They knew that. Fourth place here with Alinghi bumped down to third in the overall. Cold shower for pre-event favorite Taylor, Canfield, and China 1, with 5 wins, yet less consistent. Still all uphill for Team Portugal, as it will be for Paul Campbell-James and the new crew of Land Rover Bar Academy, mostly trailing, but with the satisfaction of scoring 2 third places in the big leagues.
So hello, Jero, and welcome back.
Hello, Mia.
Now, it looks like Larson has already put a considerable down payment for this 2016 season.
Absolutely. His performance in Cardiff was just extraordinary, winning a number of races, dominating the series there. And of course, we're talking about a guy that has immense talent, whether it's on the multi-holes or on the monoholes. Imagine right now he is at the TP52s in Porto Cervo, already there, sought after like no one else. And he's helming Nicholas Zenstrom's Ran, who is in fact the boss at Skype.
Wow. And of course, we can't forget that he also took part in the 2000 Louis Vuitton Cup with the American One, and again 2003 with One World Challenge. So let's listen to his post-race interview in Cardiff.
Let's listen in.
This is a special moment for us here in Cardiff. You know, we're just digging into the halfway point of the season, and the team's really coming together. I'm really proud of the guys, and we're sailing at our best level. Cardiff's a great venue. You know, we always come here thinking this is a small place to race, and then we actually go out there and quite a bit of wind, and we come back really happy. You know, we're going to look forward again to coming back to Cardiff next year.
So, Jero, lots of top stories coming in this week, including another huge feat from the Comanche team.
Yes, they broke a great record that was standing for quite some time now at the New York Bermuda race. They actually shaved off 5 hours off the old record that was held by Rambler. This, of course, is the boat led by Ken Reed, the skipper of Comanche, and the boat owned by Jim Clark, who was here in their Twitter page receiving the cup in Bermuda. So a big feat for this 100-footer who is set to break many more records.
So, Jero, let's switch to surfing now, because we've got lots of events coming up. The Belito Pro in South Africa, and shortly we'll also have the results from the Puerto Escondido Challenge for the Big Wave Tour.
Big event there.
But the really big event is, of course, Mick Fanning's return to the J-Bay Pro, isn't it?
Absolutely. We had sort of give you a sense that was going to happen in our last edition, and in fact the confirmation came in this week from the WSL, and they sent us this clip with his latest statement exactly about that. How does it feel to get back on the horse?
Curious to know.
Yeah, I had so many great memories here, so I just wanted to get back here and surf. And this morning, you know, wasn't too many waves, so I just went and had a look. And yeah, I don't know, there's sort of like a little bit of anxiety sort of came up, and a few different emotions. But once I got the wetsuit on and got board ready, paddled out, it was pretty much fun. You know, once you catch that first wave, and you know, you realise that it was just, you know, a one-off incident, hopefully. Then yeah, you just get on with it and just go surfing again.
Well, we'll definitely be following very closely this upcoming J-Bay Pro. Thank you for being with us, Jero, and we'll catch up with you in the next editions.
Thank you, Mia, and I'll catch you all next time.
You heard it earlier, Big Wave Pros battle it out in Mexico. The world's biggest cat race in Holland, and then from Germany, Peter Wahe and Stand Up World Series final results. Let's check out today's NC Sports Briefs.
South African sensation Grant Twiggy Baker captured first place in the inaugural event of the 2016-2017 WSL Big Wave Tour in Puerto Escondido. 24 of the world's best big wave surfers battled it out in massive 20 to 35-foot surf and exceptionally powerful beach breaks at the notorious Mexican Pipeline. Twiggy took an early lead and continued to dominate with incredible rides, including a perfect 10 in the semifinals to finish with a total 27.5 out of a possible 30 points. Reigning BWT champion Greg Long captured second place after a last-minute ride in the semis pushed him through to the finals. Brazilian Pedro Calado secured the third spot on the podium with a score of 24.77, solidifying his reputation as the best teenage big wave surfer in the world.
After over 7 hours of racing in mixed conditions on their NACRA 20, Alex Nordstrand and Oscar Elkman-Roda took out the 2016 round Texel. Grant Piggott and Sam Curtis followed in second, and Xander Poles with Stefan Doubledem took third. Drawing up to 500 entries each year, this classic sinks its roots back to the late 1970s and unfolds around a small Dutch island in the North Sea. The Round Texel is also famed as the world's biggest beach cat regatta. Another classic closed the proceedings just last weekend in the USA at Bacardi Sailing Week in Newport. 2016 world champions and sailing legends Augie Diaz and Bruno Prada left no room for misunderstandings in the star class, winning 4 of 5 races. Edenbach with Boomerang and Jennings, Humming Piper, completed the podium. Brian Bennett took home the VX1 class ahead of Griffin and Pitts, while Bill Shore topped the Shield division, and Alan Silken the Classic Day racers.
A visit from the South African Navy chief, a windjammer parade, and a gala send-off of the German Olympic and Paralympic teams marked the festivities of the 134th edition of Kiel Week, the world's largest sailing jamboree. The world's top sailors were also on hand for final competitions in all major classes before Rio 2016. In the 49er class, New Zealand's Olympic hopefuls and current world champions, Peter Burling and Blair Tuke, triumphed as expected in a 45-boat fleet. Local heroes Gwendal LeMay and Luke Wilhelm won their 29er class before the 29er World Championships in Medemblik next month. In the OK class, Sweden's Thomas Hansen Mild finished first. Britain's Andy Smith and Tim Needham clinched the 505 class for the first time. Norway's world champ Lars Johan Brodkorp secured the Europe class title. Japan's Keiju Okada and Noyahu Kimura won their first major title together in the men's 470 Junior World Championships. And in the 95-boat J70 European Championship, Italy's Claudia Rossi won her first title after only 3 months of racing over compatriot Stefano Roberti.
Local favorites Sonny Hanscheid and Connor Baxter turned on the crowds last Sunday in Scharbeutz, Germany, second stop of the 2016 Stand-Up World Series. After a second-place finish in the sprints on day one, Hanscheid really put on the pressure on overall series leader Fiona Wild by winning the long distance and the event title. On the men's track, a second-place finish in the sprints and another second with a huge comeback in the long distance behind Michael Booth finally spelled winning consistency for Baxter, enough to put behind World Series leader Casper Steinfeld.
When we come back, the UK rules again on the flying moths at the European Championships in Bordeaux. From pro, back to rookie. Giancarlo Pedotti links in with the newsroom and unveils his very own new flying adventure. And the Poré family conquers Costa Blanca with both Jeremy and sister Estelle. NC Sports will be right back after these messages. We're back on NC Sports, and just a few weeks ago we reported on the absolute domination of the British moths at the Worlds in Hayama. Well, they just did it again, this time filling up the entire podium of the European Championship last weekend in Bordeaux. Here's this report, and when we come back, pro sailor Giancarlo Pedotti tells us all about his new transition to the filing moth.
Was all remain and no Brexits at the Moth European Championship in Bordeaux over the weekend, as the now ruling British squad filled the podium once again. Repeating their feat in Hayama at the recent World Championship, this time Michael Lennon took top honors, winning 4 of 11 races for a 17-point lead over Chris Rashley in second. A distant Ben Payton in third completed the podium, followed by yet another Briton, Jim McMillan, in fourth place. In France, with a huge foiling armada, the UK also placed several more sailors among the 20 top positions. To become a pro, Giancarlo Pedote left his native Tuscany for Lorient, the world's offshore sailing capital, and started from scratch on his innovative Mini 650 Prismian. In just a few years, he practically won it all, including 2 world titles, though nearly missed victory at the Mini Transat. Then came more offshore challenges on the Class 40, and in 2015, another phenomenal victory at the Transat Jacques Vabre on the Multi 50. Well, it's from pro back to rookie, learning the essentials of foiling a tenacious and determined perfectionist. Giancarlo, one of Italy's top offshore pros, has now joined the many great sailors of the International Moth class. Based on his track record, the results should come soon.
So a powerful British team is now ruling the International Moth class, and we have a well-known guest who actually competed in France last weekend. Welcome back on NC Sports, Giancarlo Pedote, who was actually there in Bordeaux. So Giancarlo, how does it feel to go from pro back to rookie?
Hi everybody, friends to NC Sport. So for me, it's very interesting to be back rookie. Maybe it was early to compete in European Championship in Bordeaux because it is just 6 months that I sailed in Moth, but I learned a lot of things in this race because it's more interesting race with champion that alone here in Brittany, and I think that is very interesting this boat for develop a good feeling and foiling that is the future of the sail for me.
Well, so putting yourself to a test is basically in your sailing DNA, we could say. You know, you were there to witness that British victory. How did they do it?
So, well, the British guys have a great history, a great tradition, and also I think that in the winter it's not very easy sail there because it's really cold, there are big waves, and just for survive in Moth is really, really strong. I think that the guy have a great team, train together and find a good way for the victory. Also the boat of the more great guy is Exocet. That is a product from Simon Maguire. That is a really fast boat that win the 3 place of the World Championship and European too.
Okay, Giancarlo, now let's take a look at this update from the Figaro solo. When we come back, we'll talk more foiling, and I also want you to take on the foiling at the next Vendée Globe. Let's check it out.
The 2016 Solitaire du Figaro entered its second leg as the 39-boat fleet of Figaro Beneteau IIs left the Isle of Wight on June 26 for Paimpol-les-Ardrieux. After leg 1, which kicked off in Deauville on June 18th, Frenchman Erwan Tabarlet led the pack on Amour Lux, ahead of compatriots Johan Richomme on Skipper Massif 2014 and Charlie Dalin on Skipper Massif 2015, who finished 7 and 11 minutes respectively behind the leader. Veteran skipper Gildas Morvan, on his record-breaking 21st Solitaire, is already making up ground after finishing leg 1 in 20th position due to an early miscalculation that saw him steer his Cercle Vert in the wrong direction. Morvan has currently taken the lead as the race heads down the English shoreline to Land's End before descending the coast of Brittany in a 430 nautical mile stage that promises to be just as tough as the first, with rough seas, tides, and treacherous rocks to contend with. There are still 2 more stages to go in this 47th edition of the French Offshore Classic that is expected to wrap up in La Rochelle on July 7th after a total of 1,425 nautical miles.
Well, Well, Giancarlo, the Beneteaus are not foiling yet, if I don't go wrong, but never say never. Instead, the Mocha 60 already are, and we've just seen 2 transatlantic races for the solo sailors in preparation for the Vendée Globe. What's your opinion, speed or resistance? Does foiling make sense on a long endurance race like the Vendée Globe?
So, well, Mia, about Figaro, just one news, the new boat that will be released in 2019 will be with the foil air counting keel. This is a news from the class. And about IMOCA 60, I think that foiling is the future. It will be not easy to finish a race with a new concept like foil, but I think that will be very interesting have this technology for the first part of the race, especially when the guys are turning the high pressure of Santa Elena for go in the south and keep the depression and turn all part of the Southern Ocean. I think that in this part have a foil and have a great speed, permit to the boat to arrive faster in the depression system and keep a train for go faster to cross Cape Horn. I think that in this part of the race, the foil will be a key point for me.
Well, thank you, Giancarlo. Thank you for catching up with us, and let's do this again soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
And now a great family story just in from Spain's Costa Blanca as brothers Estelle and Jeremy Porret take respective wins at the UIM Aquabike World Championship. Here are all the details.
It's party time for the French Porret family after making history at last weekend's Spanish stopover for the Dana Grand Prix. Costa Blanca conditions brought out the best in Estelle and Jeremy, with both siblings taking the win in their respective ski divisions. A first ever on the UIM Aquabike World Championship. Estelle scored a 2-1 in the 2-heat weekend, while Jeremy climbed up to second on the last heat and then did get lucky when leader Kevin Reiterer suffered an engine breakdown. In runabout GP1, defending world champion Youssef Al Abdourazak went unrivaled in both heats, while the big surprise came in the freestyle, with Rached Al Molla winning his first Grand Prix and putting a stop to the domination of the Floriancic brothers.
Countdown to Foiling Week on Lake Garda, and Nautical Channel has your front row seat. The Azores host round 3 of the Cliff Diving World Series, and Brest throws the biggest sailing party of all times. Coming up next on the NC Sports calendar.
The foiling world will gather on the shores of Lake Garda, Italy from July 6th to 10th for the 3rd edition of Foiling Week, the only event dedicated entirely to the flying boats. This year's program features 7 classes, including the world premiere of the S9 Catamaran, regattas for the Moths and Flying Phantoms, the unveiling of new prototypes such as the 18-foot Voile Avion, and presentations from top designers like Martin Fisher of GC32 fame. Nautical Channel is a proud partner of Foiling Week and will be bringing you all the news from Lake Garda as it unfolds. The world's greatest cliff divers head to the Spanish Azores for the next round of the 2016 Cliff Diving World Series on July 9th. In the men's division, Mexican Jonathan Paredes leads after 2 stops in Texas and Copenhagen, ahead of defending champ Brit Gary Hunt in second and Michael Navratil of the Czech Republic in third. This will be round 2 for the ladies, with reigning champ Rachel Simpson seeking to gain ground after a disappointing 6th-place finish in round 1 that saw the surprise triumph of Australian rookie Rhiannon Ifland. American Chesley Carlton and Aussie Helena Merton hold the number 2 and 3 spots respectively. The Brest International Maritime Festival gets underway from July 13th to 19th. With more than 1,500 boats expected in the French harbor, the event will give visitors a chance to get up close and personal with the world's most impressive seafaring vessels, from historic sailing ships to the most technologically advanced arsenal of the French Navy. The world-class exhibition of everything to do with the sea takes place once every 4 years and draws an average of 1 million visitors.
From sailing to surfing and everything in between, this is your #1 source for all water sports. That's it for today, but in the meantime, I'll leave you with these clips just in from the Optimist World Championships now ongoing in Portugal's Algarve, and with some pretty fierce kids on the water. I'm Mia Charan, and remember, plunge into the action with NC Sports.